I missed a ton of moves. So we're going to go through them all at once. So it looks like, based on when my last video was, I would say that the first move we're going to be looking at was from October 11th, which was that the Steelers signed wide receiver Keyshawn Williams from the practice squad to the active roster and signed defensive end KJ Henry to the practice squad. That was after Calvin Austin's injury, and we needed a punt returner. They placed safety Miles Killebrew on the injured reserve list. That was after his season-ending injury. They terminated the contract of quarterback Logan Woodside from the practice squad. That is when Will Howard started to use his 21-day window to start practicing. They then released running back Raheem Blackshear and linebacker Jacoby Windman from the practice squad. The following day, they signed offensive lineman Jack Driscoll, safety Derek Forrest, and wide receiver John Rice Plumlee to the practice squad. A day after that, they acquired safety Kyle Duggar and a 7th-round selection in the 2026 NFL Draft from the New England Patriots in exchange for a 6th-round pick in the 2026 Draft. So, the way this trade ended up working out was that you move around back late in the draft. The Patriots are paying most of his remaining salary for this year, and the final 2 years of this contract he had signed were voided. So he will be a free agent at the end of the year. Steelers don't have to cut him, and there really should be no dead money implications at all for this. So, I mean, you move back around, you get depth at the safety position, and he actually played like the entire game, basically, versus the Colts. And this is kind of a good thing, is that I really didn't notice him. Like, that's the thing, is I don't want to notice him, basically. Because if I'm noticing him, then, and the fact he's only been on the team for a few days at that point, that was probably like oh, this is not good, you know. They then placed safety Deshaun Elliott and defensive tackle Daniel Akwale on the reserve injured list. Daniel's injury is season-ending, but Deshaun only has a hyperextended knee, so hopefully he's able to come back this year. They then activated linebacker Malik Harrison to the active roster off of the reserve injured list. He did play in the game versus the Colts. They elevated running back Lou Nichols and running back Trey Sermon. That's not a huge thing. That was just for the game, probably for special teams. Then they released cornerback Beanie Bishop from the practice squad. I don't think that's a forever kind of move. I do think that as long as Beanie doesn't sign elsewhere and hasn't signed elsewhere yet, I definitely think he could come back. And even if he signs somewhere, they could cut him, and then he could come back. So if I look at Beanie Bishop, so far, does not look like he has been signed by anybody as of yet. Yeah, the most recent move being released on November 3rd, according to Wikipedia. So, that doesn't mean it's a forever thing. He could obviously come back. They signed wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling to the practice squad. He is a receiver, played with Aaron in Green Bay. They signed defensive back Daquan Hardy and the linebacker Mark Robinson to the practice squad. They also terminated defensive end KJ Henry and wide receiver John Rice Plumlee from the practice squad. Hardy and Robinson are both familiar with the Pittsburgh area. Robinson having played here his first 3 years, I believe. And Hardy is actually from the area. Grew up not too far from Pittsburgh. They signed defensive tackle Broderick Martin Rhodes to the active roster off of the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad. So when you sign someone off a practice squad, they have to go to your 53-man roster. You can't sign from one practice squad to another practice squad. And if you cut him, you're not allowed to do that for like 4 weeks. Like, he has to be on the team for 4 weeks before you're allowed to cut him. Now, if you cut him, and then he could end up on your practice squad, but he will be on the team for the minimum the next 4 weeks. And if you look into him, former third-round pick out of Western Kentucky, in the 23 draft I saw? But he really doesn't have much of any stats acquired in the league. I think he might have 4 tackles over the course of his career. But this almost gives me the feel of like a Montravius Adams kind of signing, where Adams was signed off the Saints practice squad as a former like third-round pick. It might have actually been a third-round pick, but a former, whatever round pick. And he just couldn't make it work and comes to Pittsburgh and he plays decent. In order to make room for him on the 53, the Steelers did have to make a corresponding move, whether that be putting someone on IR or you could cut somebody. So they have waived defensive end DeMarvin Leal. DeMarvin is gone yet again. So that is it. Since October, 11th? Yeah, since October 11th, those are the moves that have been made by the Steelers. It's a lot, and I fell way behind, but I wanted to make sure I got caught up. If you guys did enjoy this, please do leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. I'll see all you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.